Hi there, thanks for joining me. I'm Devi and this is a yoga sequence for the neck, the shoulders, and the upper back. We're going to begin standing and then end up on the floor. And what you'll need is just one towel to have as a prop for some of the poses toward the end. So let's get started here with the legs in a position that's somewhat wide, so at least shoulder distance apart. And go ahead and bend your knees and just find a little bit of buoyancy here in the knees. And now as we do this, we're going to start doing these very loose neck rolls. So your chin comes towards your chest, and then your head goes around to the right and all the way back, and all the way around to the other side and forward. So keep on going in this direction. And instead of just moving the head and neck, I want you to move your shoulders. I want you to move your whole shoulder girdle, the whole upper body, so that your upper spine is participating in this movement. It's a nice way to loosen up the whole upper body, including the neck. Keep on going about 2 more times in this direction. Make sure your jaw is relaxed and your face nice and slow. Good, and now as the chin comes to the chest the next time, just change the direction and circle around the other way. So 5 times in each direction is what we're going for. Two more. Take your time. Good, all the way around one last time. And now when the chin comes to the chest, just roll your head up on top of your body and roll your shoulders now forward and up, back and down. And this is not just the shoulders. Go ahead and get your arms into it so your elbows can be kind of moving. It's like an exaggerated shoulder roll so that you're really getting into the armpits and squeezing the neck when you come up and squeezing the shoulder blades when you go back. Yeah, good. One more roll toward the back and then we will change directions. So shoulders come back and up, forward and down. Keep on going in this direction now, back and up, forward and down. Keep that exaggerated movement so you're really squeezing and kind of rinsing the muscles like you're squeezing a sponge, rinsing out a sponge. All this stuff in the upper back, in the upper chest, in the shoulders. All right, so letting the arms rest now and moving into this windshield wiper, or not windshield wiper, but washing machine. That's what it's called, a washing machine movement. So side to side, just a gentle movement to begin and letting the hands tap the body around the waist. And you can start to make this a little bit of a bigger movement if you feel comfortable with it, looking all the way back behind you or whatever amount of turn feels right. And it's good to get the legs into this. So don't try and keep your legs and hips totally still. Let them twist and turn with the body. Great. And bring it back around to the center slowly. You might be a little bit dizzy here. Just give yourself a moment to get collected and get your senses about you. And now taking the teacup movement. So bring your hands to either side of your waist like you're holding 2 teacups. And take this left hand, so I'm going to do a mirror image of you. Your left hand comes up and across and then comes across the horizon. You're holding a teacup, trying to keep it balanced, making sure you don't spill it. And now take this teacup over the head with your elbow coming back. So the hand comes above the head, still holding the teacup, so the hand stays up. And then the hand comes all the way out, the teacup all the way out to the side. Keep it upright, way back behind you, and then bring it back to your hip. So same thing on the other side. Right hand comes up and across diagonally, and then draw it across the horizon, presenting this wonderful cup of tea, and then saying, oh, maybe I won't give it to you yet. I'm going to balance it on top of my head and take it all the way out to the side again and back behind me. And I'm going to have this cup of tea come right next to my hip now. Try it again. First side, left arm comes up and across to the diagonal, across the horizon, out to the side and back, and then comes behind the head. So a nice opening of the shoulder happens here as you bring it over your head, and then another interesting rotation of the shoulder as you bring it way out and back behind you, and then take it next to your hip. Excellent. And right hand comes up and across, out to the side, across the horizon, and bring it up over the head, elbow out to the side. And taking this teacup, palm stays up all the way out to the side, all the way back behind you and back to your hip. And one more time for good measure, left hand comes up and across at the diagonal, open it out to the side, take it over your head, and take the hand all the way back behind you and then back to your hip. Whew. Right hand comes up and across, and then draw it over the horizon to the opposite side, and then back a bit, elbow out to the side, take it over your head, keep the palm up, take it way out to the side and back behind you, and nestle it right back at your hip. Wonderful. Okay, now take your arms out to either side and just cross your arms at your chest. And you can kind of just stretch into the outer upper arms and shoulders here. And let the arms go, just kind of let the weight of the arms, the momentum, create the stretch here. Good, one more time, and relax. Chin toward the chest. Keep your knees and feet at this wide-ish angle as we come into a slow forward bend. I like to call this the wet noodle forward bend. So as you get the weight of your head forward a bit and bend into your upper back, wiggle. Start to wiggle your arms and your shoulders and bend your knees a little bit more as you come down, and continue wiggling and wiggling as you descend into this forward bend. And as you are finding yourself more bent at the hips, then you're just hanging more, letting the arms and the upper body and the head hang. And now hold opposite elbows and gently sway side to side. And you could shake your head or turn your head side to side here. And then shake your head forward and back like you're saying yes. Good, and release the arms down, and now come into a squat. So your heels might stay on the ground, or they might lift up like mine. Doesn't matter either way. Coming into this nice twisting squat. So left hand on the floor, fingertips or palm, either way, and your right arm reaches up and back, and turn your gaze up and back to that arm and feel like you're trying to come into a back bend, although your hand, your elbow is resisting against the leg here. So you're really pressing strongly back toward the inside of this knee to come into this imagined back bend. Good, come back down, and your right hand to the earth, and then your left hand reaches up and back. Same thing, pressing into the inner right knee and looking up and back at this hand, bringing your skull back in space, and release and back to the first side, left hand down, right arm up and back. And bring it back down, right hand down, left arm up and back. Excellent, bring it back down to the center. And now coming to a position on your belly. And as you come into the belly, I'm going to take the right arm out to the side. And this is where your towel comes in. Not everyone feels like they need support here under the head, but I'll offer it. I do like support. I'm going to take it into this open wing position with my right arm out to the side, and then the right ear or right side of the head on this towel, and then bending my knees to roll onto my side. And my left hand can just press the ground for stability, or it can wrap behind my back. Or some people like to clasp the hands back here, but if that's too much for you, don't worry about that. And some people like to straighten the legs and maybe take this left foot back in space or bend the knee up to the sky. So play around with this a few more breaths. The hand that's on the floor behind you, you can play around with the angle of it and the rotation. Maybe palm down, maybe palm up. Maybe it's angled down toward the hip more or straight out to the side. Lots of different stretches that you can find here. Make sure you're safe and that you don't do anything that's too much on these delicate tissues of your shoulder. All right, releasing, take it to the other side, onto your chest with your left hand out to the side and rolling onto the left side of the head. Bending the knees and maybe staying right here, and this hand can help you gauge the stretch. Or if you want to take it a step further, you can wrap the hand behind the back, maybe work with the straight legs, taking the right leg back in space, or bending the knee up. Open wing pose, it's called. This is a yin pose. So we've been doing a mix of yin and yang, but mostly yang today, till this one. Great, and now releasing, come back around and rolling onto the chest, and take the towel off to the side and stretch your arms out in front of you for a locust pose. So we'll come into the half locust by lifting the left arm up and the right leg, and lift the head. And release the arm and the head down and come into the other side. Left arm up, right leg up. And releasing down. Good, and now press your hips up and back, child's pose. And from this child's pose, take your hands both over toward the right. So left hand on top of the right hand, and this will be a nice way to stretch into the left side of your torso, the left side of your ribs, and the left side of your waist. And come back through the center, walk the hands, place the left hand over toward the left, place the right hand on top of the left, and settle back. So some people like to rest the forehead down for this side stretch. Some people like to keep it lifted. Some people like to rest it over on the arm. It's up to you. It's whatever gives you the best experience of stretching into this right side. Breathing. Great, and now releasing back to the center. Come on up to sit, and then make your way into a position lying down over your towel. So first, before we lie down, open up your towel so that it's about halfway, and then from the shorter edge, start to fold it or roll it into a pretty tight roll. Yes. And from here, take this to where you're going to lie back over it. Have it right under the back of your heart so that it catches the bottom tips of your shoulder blades. And the arms can spill out right over the top of your roll. And this is important to make sure the roll isn't here in your lower back, because that's not really going to do much for the upper back. We want to get the upper back and the shoulder blades and the shoulders. So make sure it's high enough, and sometimes it takes some experimentation to get just the right placement here. Just want to feel that you're opening your chest, opening your collarbones, and letting the tops of the shoulders spill back toward the earth. The back of your neck shouldn't feel too scrunched. You want to feel some length in the back of the neck. And you could even clasp your hands under the base of the skull to pull the base of the skull away from the torso. And then settle in here. Enjoying this nice opening of the chest. And feeling your body breathe. And this is where we'll end this sequence. You can continue to rest here for longer if you'd like. Thank you so much for joining me. Namaste. Oh, I hope you enjoyed that as much as I did. And if you liked it, hit the thumbs up button, subscribe to my channel, check out my latest yoga video, and leave me a comment down below, especially if you have any questions or if you had a favorite part of this sequence or maybe a part that you had some challenges with. I would love to hear how it worked for you, and I would love to see you next time. Thanks for joining.